What happens when I've got some bubble wrap, some clay, a rolling pin, random fish, and something to cut it out with? Stick around and find out. Now, let's dive in. Welcome, SeaRoxxers. Well, to create our colorful clay fish today, I'm going to use something a little unconventional, and that is just a 14 by 5 board I had in the corner of my studio. And to that, I'm going to add a fish motif, a fish design to create this colorful fish panel. And the only way to make some clay fish is to roll out some clay. This is DOS air dry clay that I'm using. So since my last clay project, I've been dying to use bubble wrap again on clay. So here I go, trying this bubble wrap on here, which I just love it. It turns out so fun. Then on top of that, I went ahead and traced right over my pattern onto the clay, and then I'll just cut that right out. Once the imperfections are smoothed out, or however you like it, then I just put it on the board. Now this little fish, he started to fall apart on me there at the tail, but I got him all fixed up. And a helpful hint for you, use the side of your board or whatever you're working with, a canvas, as a guide to get a straight line instead of trying to guess. If you're enjoying today's fishy art, please splash that like button and click the bell. I truly appreciate your support. So essentially, I'm going to keep repeating this process until all the fish are down. So I will meet you at the other end. Once all the fish are down, you're going to fine tune your details, smooth out the edges, make it as pretty as you want, and then wait for it to dry, which in my case, it depends on your area. This was about 3 days, basically-ish. Well, they dried up real pretty, and now it is time to paint. Now I'm just using acrylic paint, and I am just using a very random, intuitive style of painting. It's very free, it's very loose, and it is very fun. And when I wasn't patient enough to let the paint dry, I got out my heat gun and sped up the process. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like and share, and click the bell so we can make more art together. This really is one of my favorite color palettes to use. The different shades of blue and turquoise, the lime green, and the accents of the orange or like a tangerine. And now I'm just using a gold dusting, so to speak, to bring out the bubble wrap pattern. To seal this, I'm going to use Arteza's acrylic varnish in satin. In 3, 2, 1, we are taped up. So we really wanted to create an unconventional background and decided to use some pre-mix grout as the backdrop for our fish. Now I will say the final result isn't exactly what I had in mind, and I wish I had done some things differently, but nonetheless, this is what I did. I added a little blue to the gray grout, and truthfully, I had no idea whether this was going to work or not, and I used the wrong gray grout, of course, but whatever. Anyway, I do need to give a disclaimer is that grout is not meant to be used like this, so depending on the grout, if you try this, may or may not crack. And on a whim, I went ahead and added a few more clay pieces to the water part to add some interest, and then we'll put some glass on top of that. So to lighten things up, I decided to take kind of a light gray acrylic paint, water down, and give the grout a bit of a wash. And I ended up doing that 3 or 4 times, and I still didn't like how it turned out. So then I got a wild hair and painted the whole dang thing. But before I did that, I took all the tape off to see if I liked it any better. It didn't change it anymore. But the fish look pretty. So this is what it looks like now painted with the navy blue background. As I know, it's not completely painted. It's not supposed to be. I think what I would do differently is I wouldn't make the texture, the grout, rough. I would make it more smooth, but I love my fish. Oh, love those fish. Now let's do something with these bubbly things. Now using my glass nippers, I'm going to go ahead and cut up some stained glass, and I'm going to add those pieces of glass to the top of those little bubbly things. And to attach those little pieces of glass so they don't fall off, I'm going to use some E6000. But stick around because our reveal is next. Truthfully, I do like this piece a lot, especially the clay fish. I think more fish are in my future. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed yourself and perhaps you're inspired to try something new. I invite you to join the SeaRoxx family, like, share, subscribe, and do all those things that you need to do so you get content every week. And don't forget, you can also follow me on my other social media platforms. You can visit my website or my Etsy shop. Thanks for watching, and until next time, go beach or go home.